Mark Jaben here, Medical Director for Haywood County Health Department, and let's talk about where we are in this pandemic. So I hope you're getting to enjoy March Madness, and for two reasons. First, it's a lot of fun. But second, remember late January at the peak of the Omicron surge? Some believed it was madness to think we'd ever get back to low levels. Well, as some suggested even then, it was possible, and here we are, now down to levels not seen since early last July. But also recall last spring as we were all low, Delta was ravaging India. It was just a matter of time before it got here. This time we have Omicron BA2. But this time there's more immunity in the community. So will it be enough? So please share this with everyone you care about. The CDC community level, everyone in Western North Carolina now in the low range. That's intended to predict the low risk of serious illnesses in 3 weeks. And based on these levels, their recommendations are for those up to date with vaccination and booster. For you, remain vigilant. Others should be careful in high-risk situations and use protective public health measures. In Haywood County, our hospitalizations are nearly all in those unvaccinated or not boosted. So for the numbers. In the U.S., less red. The same 3 states remain in red this week. Now only 16 in orange, and 7 of those poised to drop into yellow. More green than before, but that's a bit misleading as many of those places are just not reporting. For our neighbors, all in the yellow zone still. South Carolina, a bit misleading because 9 of those green counties are not reporting. In Georgia, yellow, but has remained flat over the past 2 weeks. North Carolina, hospitalizations and deaths continue to decrease. And North Carolina remains in the orange. 9 counties, though, still in the red zone. In western North Carolina, Macon, now the only county remaining in the red zone, and some significant changes both up and down this week. Buncombe, down into orange. Henderson and Clay, up into orange. Madison, Haywood, and Graham, down into yellow. And Jackson and Cherokee counties remained pretty flat this week. As far as testing, North Carolina and every county now below the 5% threshold except for Clay, meaning the trend in cases is a more reliable figure. For Haywood County, now up to 12,870 for the pandemic. That's an addition of only 25, a week-over-week level last seen in early July, and as you can see here, really quite far down. The community level in Haywood was in the medium all week, predicting a higher risk of serious illness in 3 weeks, but it dropped into the low on Friday. Deaths now at 200 with the addition of 1 reported this week. And Haywood Regional had 5 COVID-related admissions each day during this week, and no one on ventilators. They still, however, remain near capacity, although there's been less time on diversion this week. The event risk calculator, now only a 15% likelihood someone in a group of 50 is infected. That continues down. So Omicron BA2 has caused large surges in Asia and Europe. Denmark initially saw only an increase in cases, but as their cases have come way down, their deaths now are way up. And the UK saw increases in both cases and hospitalizations right off the bat. Unsure what that means. BA2 is now about 25% or a quarter of new cases in the U.S., doubling every week or so. And when a variant gets to around 50% of new cases, that's when we start to see its effects. In addition, wastewater surveillance in the Northeast is already showing an increase in the virus. And remember, we lag the Northeast by 2 to 3 weeks. So stay tuned, be well, be careful, be ready to pivot.